Good morning, students. It's Ms. Cruz from the College and Career Center. I hope that you have received my letter and have read it. If you haven't, I will introduce myself once again. My name is Ms. Cruz, and I'll be your college advisor and scholarship coordinator for this school year. A quick information for you: we are located in the counselor's office, room 1026. Our office hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. My emails are provided to you in case you ever need to reach me via email. So today's video is going to be about how to prepare for college and some other additional important information that you will need. What can the CC Center assist you with? We basically help you with SAT, ACT registration, college application, scholarship application and research, tutoring. This year we have 3 Aggie mentors who will be able to tutor you virtually. If you need to meet with them, let me know so that we can schedule you for an appointment to meet with them. College advising, myself and Advise Texas, Mr. Pepper will be here to help you with any of your questions about college, and then virtual college tours. Last year and the years before, we were able to do college tours. This year, due to the pandemic, we'll be doing virtual tours, which I think will still be fun. It will just be a little bit different. But again, I'll send you more information about that once we come around to scheduling those or providing you with workshops. But again, how to prepare for college this fall semester for seniors. Well, some of the things that you should have taken care of by now are either your SAT or ACT exams. Is it too late to take those tests? No, it is not. You can always register for those tests here in the CC Center. I have sent you videos on how to sign up for SAT or ACT tests. But if you need help, feel free to email me and we can help you, guide you through the process. The other thing you need to do is automatically set your account to send those scores out to college and university. Again, keep in mind that just because you took your SAT or ACT does not mean that those test scores are being sent out. When you create your account, that's just creating your account with your college board or SAT. It's not necessarily setting up an account to send those scores out to universities of your choice. Requesting official transcripts. We have had a couple students already who are asking for official transcripts for college admission. Make sure that you send me an email or send an email to Mrs. Tara Timmerman if you're doing virtual or online courses, because it's a little bit different for you all. But again, if you're wanting to get copies of your official transcript, make sure that you reach out to us so that we can either mail it out or email them out to the universities of your choice. But make sure that you on the email you provide us with the campus name that you're trying to send your transcripts to, and then that way we can take care of that for you. Students who are here on campus face-to-face and need official transcripts, stop by the CC Center and we can give you a form to request those transcripts. Whenever you fill out the form, we're going to go ahead and give it to the registrar's office, who will get those transcripts ready for you. She'll give it back to me, and then I'll go ahead and take care of it and send them out to the universities of your choice. But that's with official transcripts. Now, at some point you will be meeting with us individually so that we can discuss your college plans, where you're wanting to go, where do you plan to apply, what are your plans, in other words, for college. So again, you'll eventually meet with us. If we don't pull you out sooner than what you would want, let us know and we can pull you out sooner if you'd like. Applying for college. If you're applying to college here in Texas, and you're going to be using the applytexas.org, but if you're applying out of Texas, you're going to be applying using the Common App. Now, if you happen to go to a university and if you happen to go to the Apply Texas here for a college here in Texas and you happen to not find them, it's because that campus has a their own application and it's a private school. But again, if you don't find them on the Applied Texas University here in Texas, it's because they have their own application available on their webpage. So just take a note of that. October 1st is FAFSA. We will be discussing more about FAFSA and what it is and how it does apply to you and your parents. But again, FAFSA is an application to see if the student qualifies for any free money or loans. Searching for scholarships. If you have Beyond Mind 101, you should have already been receiving scholarship information or how to apply for scholarships that are being released as of now that are state and national. But again, we'll cover that in a little bit. Again, at the bottom, transcripts request for hybrid or online students. Please send me an email to Ms. Cruz or Ms. Tara Timmerman letting us know that you need your official transcripts for your admission application. But again, that's pretty quick information about what you should be doing here as your this fall semester, which is taking care of those SAT and ECT exams. As I mentioned before, those test scores are not required for admission purposes for this you all for incoming freshmen, but we do highly suggest that you take care of those tests because you still need them for scholarship purposes. The other thing you may want to start doing is getting involved in extracurricular activities, making sure that you talk to your teachers because you'll need them for letter of recommendations. So again, those two things, if you're not involved in anything, make sure that you try to do volunteering as well. Volunteering is very important because when it comes to applying for college, they are going to ask about your volunteering and your extracurricular activities, especially now since they're not requiring SAT or ACT test scores. They're going to want to look at that as well. So don't necessarily think that, oh, they don't need SAT or ACT, I have a better chance. Not necessarily. You just have to keep in mind that they'll be looking at your full application as far as, what have you done here at your high school level, volunteering, extracurricular activities, were you a president, so again, all of that is going to count. They'll be looking at that, in other words, holistic review. SAT and ACT, as mentioned before, students who get free or reduced lunch qualify for 2 free SAT and ACT exams, so please take advantage of that. Those who get fee waivers, there's so many benefits for that. So again, and it's been mentioned on the SAT and ACT videos. So please, students who get free or reduced, register for those SAT and ACT since they're being offered to you for free. Now, how are universities considering SAT or ACT for admission? As mentioned before, no. Is that going to affect you if you take those SAT or ACT tests? Not necessarily. They're not going to penalize you for submitting test scores to universities that do not require test scores. So if, for example, you submit your SAT scores to A&M and the scores are not high enough, is that going to penalize you? No. So again, they want it for scholarship purposes. I highly recommend that you still do, even though you're not needing them for admissions. And that's basically what all universities are doing. If they don't require SAT or ACT for admissions, they may need it for scholarships. Blend's a little bit different, like as I mentioned, as that they don't necessarily need the SAT or ACT, but they are going to need the TSI, which is another exam that's being offered here on campus for free to all seniors. So again, if you are having to pay for your SAT and ACT and you're wanting to go to a 2-year college, then you can always just take advantage of that free TSI exam here on campus. Here's the thing about Blend College. So whenever you take tests, you not necessarily are trying to see if you can get into Blend, but to see if you're college ready to take college courses. So in other words, for the SAT, ACT, and TSI, so based off your scores, they'll determine whether you are college ready to take college courses. So in other words, if you take the SAT or ACT and you don't get these scores on that test, then they're going to recommend that you take the TSI. So again, if you take these tests and you don't score high enough, you're still going to have to take the TSI. So what happens if you take the TSI and you still don't meet the TSI standard for college readiness? Well, they're going to ask that you take that TSI once again. But say, for example, you take the TSI and you don't score 350 on the math. Then it's going to ask that you retake that math portion, or you can leave it as is, and they'll place you in remedial courses to see if they'll put you in remedial courses to see for at least a month of a semester, depending on how you score in your math section. But again, if you decide to go to Blend with non-passing or non-college readiness scores, then again you'll be placed on remedial classes, meaning classes that you'll have to pay for, but you're not going to get credit for, because those are to prepare you for college and not necessarily to get credit for it. So again, the goal here for Blend is to try to be college ready so that you can take college courses. So again, whichever score test you take, these are what you need to get in order to be college ready at Blend or any 2-year college. So keep in mind, 2-year colleges do not need SAT or ECT, but they do need TSI. As mentioned before, what is the difference between SAT and ECT? The difference between the two is that SAT and ACT is that SAT is if you don't like science and math, then we highly suggest the SAT. But if you like science and math, then we highly suggest ACT because ACT has stronger math in it. So again, that's just a quick note for you. ACT and SAT test dates, as mentioned before, I have sent out that information via Remind telling you when the deadlines are. This just shows you the test dates that are available for these two tests. There are more test dates. These are just an example for right now, but again, there's more tests coming up in the spring semester. But I don't want you to wait till spring semester to decide to take the SAT or ACT. As soon, like I always said, sooner the better for these exams. If you need help on how to register for these tests, let me know. I can send you the video, or we can do a one-on-one virtual meeting, and I can walk you through the steps on how to register for the exams for SAT and ACT. For TSI, if you're wanting to register for the TSI, just go ahead and send me an email or send me a message through Remind 101 letting me know you want to register for the TSI, and I'll go ahead and sign you up for the next upcoming TSI exam. I will send you the link or the photo or the flyer of the test dates that are coming up for TSI. That way you are aware of those test dates. College application. If you're applying to a college outside of Texas, then you're going to be using the common application. If you're applying for colleges here in Texas, you're going to be using the applytexas.org. Like I mentioned, guys, the application to universities is very important. It's very detailed. Universities such as A&M and UT, the application is very detailed, very lengthy. So please take the time to sit down and submit that application. You're not going to submit it in one day because they do ask for a lot of information about you. When they ask about extracurricular activities and volunteering, they're going to want to know the dates, the hours you worked. And like I said, that's a very lengthy application. Sam Houston is not lengthy because they don't ask for an essay. So A&M and UT, like I said, they have an essay portion and a scholarship portion that you have to fill in. Sam Houston, Prairie View, they're not as detailed. So again, there's a little bit more easier to complete. You'll finish the application within 30 minutes. But like I said, A&M is a lot more detailed and lengthy. It'll take you a while before you can finish that. So again, keep in mind, guys, that again, it's not about who can submit the application sooner. It's more about who has provided the most information. So again, don't think that just because you're submitting it by August 3rd that you're going to get into the university. Remember, guys, are looking at your application as a whole, not necessarily whether you submitted your application first. Deadlines approaching. Rice University is always one of the first ones to have their deadline earlier. So again, if you're wanting to go to Rice University, you may have to go to their webpage to submit that application. Texas A&M and University of Texas are the next ones coming up with early deadlines this December 1st, meaning that you only have till December 1st to submit that application. Now, we do not want you to wait till December 1st to submit documents. We want you to submit those documents before December 1st because we want you to have all the documents in order, because you don't want it to be December 1st and you receive an email from the university letting you know that you have documents missing from your account. So again, what is the steps for applying for college? You're going to apply for college. Once you submit your application, they will let you know whether you're missing documents, whether that's your official transcripts or your waiver. So some students, like I mentioned before, don't have to pay for the application fee. If you get free or reduced, you don't have to pay for that. You'll be using the free application fee waiver. So again, keep a note that once you submit your application, you have to check your emails. I tell this to students every single year. We have students that miss the admission deadline for A&M and UT because they did not check their email. They did not know they were missing documents. So I highly suggest that whenever you apply to these universities, that you provide them with an email that you have access to, and that you check often, because that's how they let you know that once you submit your application, what else you need to submit in order for your application to be completed. So again, just because you submit your application online, that does not mean that you are finished applying. That's just letting you know that you have submitted your app, but there are going to be further documentation that you're going to need to submit, such as your official transcript and your application fee or waiver. So again, just keep in mind that those items are they're gonna be needed to be submitted by December 1st. Always recommended by December 1st, because again, if they send you an email letting you know there's items missing, you have that chance to still submit documents. But again, that is the number one recommendation, is for you to check your emails often once your application has been submitted. Scholarships. As mentioned before, if you have Me Your Mind 101, you should have been already receiving information about scholarships. If you don't have Me Your Mind 101, I highly suggest you add me there. I did send out a letter about myself and a flyer on how to add Me Your Mind 101. So please, I highly suggest that you add me, because that's the number one way for you to communicate with me. Scholarship search engines. These are some of the scholarship search engines that you can go and visit. If you like to write essays, and you don't mind writing essays, then Unigo is the way to go. They have unique topics that you'll enjoy writing about. Do something that's a little bit more different. They're more involved. So again, this one you may have to do a little bit extra to get scholarships, to get into drawings of scholarships. I highly suggest that if you're an active student and like to get involved with your with school campus organizations, look into do something, because again, like I said, they have unique opportunities for you. These other two here are just websites that you can research different scholarships. They have multiple ones that you can look at. But again, like I said, you would have to go into research. This one, the Raise Me, is a little bit different. The way that one works is that you create your account with Raise Me. Universities will look at your profile, and based off your profile, they'll offer you money. So what's in your profile? You're going to input your volunteering hours, your extracurricular activities, anything that you're involved in, clubs, organizations, such things as that. Again, they'll look at your profile. You'll have to put your GPA, your rank, all of these details about you, and the more you put, the better, because that's how universities will give you money. Now, just because you have an account, profile, and you see that universities are offering you money, that doesn't mean that that's what you're going to get. You would actually have been accepted and enrolled at that university to be able to qualify for the money. So again, don't think that just because you create an account with Raise Me and you have a profile and you see money there, that doesn't mean that you're going to get it. That's just saying that if you apply, you get accepted, and you actually enroll, then you can qualify for that money. So again, you can do that. Raise Me, like I said, it's another thing that you can start doing. The other scholarships that I've been sending out information about are these right here at the bottom. These are very popular state and national scholarships that you can apply to. Here are the deadlines that are coming up and the links. But again, all of this information was sent to you via Remind 101. If you don't have your Remind 101, I highly suggest that you add me so that I can send you those links. Local scholarships. These are very popular here in town, because you are only going to be competing against Bryan ISD seniors. So again, these are easier to get versus these, because these are state and national. This is you competing against the whole U.S., and then this is only competing against Bryan ISD seniors. So again, this local scholarships don't come out till December 2020, and I'll let you know more about that once the season comes around and when we release the application. But again, there's further steps, but I'll let you know when we get closer to December. Financial aid. When we say financial aid, that's just saying what is a way that you're going to pay for college. Are you going to be saving money? Are you going to work? Are you going to apply for FAFSA? Are you going to apply for scholarships? So that's what we refer to when we say financial aid. For today, we're going to be talking about FAFSA. Now, FAFSA, as mentioned before, is an application to see if you, the student, qualifies for any free money from the government, such as grants, loans, or work study, based off your parents' 29 income tax information. So again, this is all based off your parents' income tax. So again, depending on how much your parents earn is how you'll find out whether you can qualify for any free money, which is grants, loans, which is borrowed money, or work study, meaning you'll have to work on campus to earn the money that the government can give you. Like for example, the Aggie Mentors, they are here on campus. They are here under the work study program, meaning they work here at Rudder, and they'll get paid through the work study program because they have money saved in their account. It's just that they can't get it unless they work for the university. and they're here, and like I said, under the work study program. So it's just another way of earning money. FAFSA night and TASFA nights, those are still to be determined. We'll eventually send out information when we will be hosting FAFSA. FAFSA doesn't open till October 1st. So again, the closer we get to October is when we'll release the FAFSA nights and how we're going to go about that, because again, for this year it's a little bit different, but we'll provide you with more info when we get closer to the dates. What is the difference between FAFSA and TASFA? FAFSA is for U.S. citizens and residents. If you don't hold residency here, and in other words, if you have no documentation here in the United States, then you'll be using the TASFA application. They're basically the same application. It's just a little bit different for students who are not residents or U.S. citizens of the U.S. But again, that's the difference between the two. If you need more help with this in detail, or you need a parent, you need somebody to explain it to your parent, let us know. Like I said, myself or Advice Texas, Mr. Pepper will be able to explain it. For our Spanish-speaking students, let me know, and then I can, like I said, do my best and try to explain what FAFSA or TASFA is. But like I said, we'll touch more base about FAFSA whenever the season comes around, so that we can better explain it to you, and what does the application look like, what to expect, what do you need in order to submit your FAFSA or TAFSA. But again, like I said, when we get closer, we'll talk more about that. Career explorations. When we talk about career exploration, we do ask the students, what do you plan to study when you go to college? What do you want to become when you get older? So again, if you don't know, we don't expect you to know. It does take a while for students to figure out what they actually want to study. We even have students who are in college for 2 years and they decide to change their major because they finally, after being there at the university for a couple years, they finally figure out who they are as an individual and what they will actually want to pursue. But the difference here between these links and this one, and I'll explain it to you, it'll be easier. When we ask that you take career exploration exams to figure out what you want to become, if you take either of these tests will tell you, I will ask you more about your likes and dislikes. For example, do you like working with kids? Do you like, helping people? So things like that, things that you would more likely say yes to. Like, do you like drawing? Do you like the art? Do you like working with your hands? Things like that. So again, this is based off your likes and dislikes versus the ASVAB. The ASVAB is based off your knowledge. They'll give you careers based off what you know versus this one's. So again, I highly recommend the ASVAB because this is knowledge based and not your likes and dislikes. So in other words, just because you like to color and do arts and craft doesn't mean that you want to seek a degree in arts or you want to become, So again, these is more about likes and dislikes versus your ASVAB. Now, I do have students who say ASVAB is for only military. That is not correct. ASVAB is an exam that the military used for students who want to join the military, so they can help them gear them towards what career or what position they can hold in the Army or any military field. But again, the ASVAB is utilized not just for military; it's utilized for different organizations that they use it for. We use it as well to help you guide you what kind of careers to pursue based off your knowledge. So again, the ASVAB is free. It is being offered here at Ritter on campus November 11th at 8 a.m. If you're wanting to sign up, let me know. Send me a Remind 101 and I can sign you up, or come by the CC Center if you're here face-to-face on campus. Whichever way is easier for you. But again, I highly suggest that if you don't know what to do yet, you're trying to get a career that is better suited for you based off your knowledge, let me know and we can sign you up for that free ASVAB exam versus having you take these likes and dislikes exploration exams. Like I said, this one, the ASVAB, is highly recommended. Aggie Mentors. As mentioned before, we do have 3 Aggie Mentors on board. They'll be joining us virtually. Unfortunately, they cannot be here on campus, but if you want to follow them on Instagram or send them an email via further email, go ahead and do that. Or you can send me an email, whichever way you feel comfortable with. The other thing I do highly recommend is you adding me on Remind 101. I only have a few students who have added me so far. Like I mentioned, a lot of our information and most of our information is going through Remind 101. It is the quickest and fastest convenient way to communicate with me. with a quick message if you're missing something or if you need something to be done for you, such as sending out your transcript or providing you with copies of scholarship applications, or just in general letting you know if, because we do have folders here that have your username and passports. Once you create your accounts with SAT, ECT, College Board, or Apply Texas, all of that stuff is being saved here for you if you come visit us here. And if you need access to that folder, we can always provide it to you via Remind. But again, that's the reason I'm saying add me on Remind 101, because that is the best way to communicate with me. I'm actually check my messages quite often, and I respond almost automatically to those Remind 101 messages. But again, guys, please add me. I highly recommend you that you do. It's the best way for you to communicate with myself. You'll receive information about what's going on in the CC, when we'll be having workshops, and things like that. But again, feel free to add me. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope this was beneficial to you. In wraps, the things that you should be doing right now as a senior is making sure that that your GPA is good. If you are struggling with your GPA, make sure that you do well this semester, because again, your GPA does matter. I cannot stress that enough. Universities will be looking at GPA more than they ever have, because of the SAT and ECT that is not required this for upcoming freshmen. So again, make sure that GPA is good. Make sure that you take those SAT and ECT for scholarship purposes. Make sure to take that TSI, because you're going to need it eventually. So again, universities, even though they're not requiring the SAT or ECT, they might require that you submit the TSI test. And again, there shouldn't be an excuse for you not to take the TSI, because a TSI is offered to all seniors for free. Scholarships, like I said, scholarships are available on here and the CC, or they're being sent out via Remind 101. So make sure you work on those scholarships, the ones that I'm sending out for now. Once local scholarship season is on right around the corner, I'll provide you with that information and that application. Remember, we're looking at December 1st for local scholarships. Essays, make sure that you work on your essays. If you need the topics for the essay for admission for A&M and UT, let me know so that I can send you the topics. You can be working on that for now, because remember, A&M and UT will be looking at your essay. And if you need more help with your essay and what to write about, like I said, I've been here for this is my 7th year. I can somewhat guide you with what kind of essay you should be looking at and writing into. But what else? That's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, it's SAT, ECT, TSI, scholarships, and working on those essays and college applications for now. As we move along, we'll be sending, we'll go through the whole process. This is not something that you're going to be doing on your own. Myself, Mr. Pepper, is going to be helping you, guide you through the process. Like I said, don't hesitate to ask us. Don't feel uncomfortable asking us. We're more than happy to explain it to you in detail. Thank you, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day.